Welcome back to What's the Fact, friends. I hope topics are useful for you. Kindly comment because your opinions are important. Bad fats you should be eating for better heart health, according to experts. We've come a long way from the days of low-fat or fat-free everything, as we have learned more about the nuance behind the role dietary fat can play in our overall health. Not all fat is bad, and there's a time and place for every type of fat in a healthy diet, even when you are prioritizing heart health. Like most things, it's all about balance. Fat is essential for cell function, nutrient absorption, hormone balance, body temperature regulation and more. Some fats like saturated fat are considered bad by some because eating too much can increase your cholesterol and overall heart disease risk. That doesn't necessarily mean that foods high in fat, even saturated fat, are totally off the table in a heart-healthy diet. In fact, many high-fat foods are packaged with other essential nutrients which may promote heart health. We asked the experts to weigh in on which bad fats that you should actually be eating for better heart health. Here's what they said. Whole eggs. Eggs have had a complicated relationship with heart health for many years, in large part due to their cholesterol and saturated fat content. However, experts agree that eggs don't need to be avoided completely, nor do you need to limit yourself to egg whites to avoid much of the fat. In fact, the American Heart Association says that it's okay to can enjoy 1 to 2 whole eggs a day. That's because most studies that have looked at egg consumption and heart health reported either a reduced risk or no association between eating eggs and heart disease risk factors when enjoyed as part of an overall healthy eating pattern. In other words, it's not just the eggs, but what you pair your eggs with that makes all the difference when it comes to heart health. When eggs are paired with foods high in saturated fat like butter, bacon or sausage, it will likely increase LDL cholesterol which can raise heart disease risk over time. On the other hand, pairing your eggs with unsaturated fats like olive oil or an avocado, as well as some fiber from vegetables and fruits, and eggs don't have the same negative effect on heart health. Full-fat dairy. A popular strategy for reducing the saturated fat in your diet is to make the switch from full-fat to low or reduced-fat dairy products. However, newer research is finding that the connection between full-fat dairy products and heart disease risk isn't as clear as we once thought. For those with healthy cholesterol levels, eating a moderate amount of dairy products, up to 200 grams per day, whether low or full-fat, may not negatively affect their heart disease risk. In addition, research has found that those who got their saturated fat from cheese, yogurt or fish rather than beef or butter were less likely to get heart disease. While full-fat dairy products do contain more saturated fat, that fat is also packaged with other nutrients like calcium, which can be beneficial for blood pressure. Fermented dairy, like yogurt, aged cheese and kefir, also provide probiotics which are great for supporting gut health, and a healthy gut is beneficial for your heart. In fact, research shows that yogurt and fermented dairy, in particular, have a strong association with lower rates of heart disease. That's why considering the whole food rather than one nutrient, i.e. saturated fat, is important. Of course, remember that the keyword here is moderation as full-fat dairy products are higher in calories, too. Seed oils. If you've spent any time scrolling social media in the last few months, you've likely come across controversial opinions on whether seed oils, such as corn, canola and sunflower, are good for you. We are here to reassure you that seed oils are safe and even have some health benefits. The science is clear, even if influencers on social media aren't, says Alexandra Kasparov, RD, registered dietitian, NYT best-selling chef and founder of Delish Knowledge. She explains that the science on fat sources has been consistent for decades. Swapping out high saturated fat foods, like red meat, in favor of unsaturated fats, like seed oils, helps lower harmful LDL cholesterol levels. For example, a recent large meta-analysis found that replacing some saturated fats with polyunsaturated fats, like seed oils, was associated with a lower reduced risk of cardiovascular disease and type 2 diabetes, shares Kasparov. Another common argument against the potential health benefits of seed oils is that they increase inflammation, which is a key player in heart disease risk. However, Mozaffarian argues that the research on seed oils like canola oil often shows the opposite. Dark chocolate. While dark chocolate contains a bounty of nutrients, it is a moderate source of saturated fat, says Beth Stark, RDN, LDN, a registered dietitian nutritionist and owner of Beth Stark Nutrition based in Pennsylvania. Despite its saturated fat content, chocolate may offer benefits for your heart. Chocolate, particularly dark chocolate, contains flavonols, a type of antioxidant that may promote healthy blood pressure levels and overall heart health, says Stark. For example, the flavonols in dark chocolate help widen and relax your blood vessels, which increases blood flow and may lower blood pressure. Stark recommends that you choose dark chocolate that's at least 60% to 70% cacao and limit it to about 1 ounce per day to help keep your calorie and saturated fat intake in check. What are the best fats for heart health? Most of us eat too much saturated fat when we should be eating more unsaturated fats like monounsaturated fats and polyunsaturated fats. To help balance the sources of fat in your heart-healthy eating pattern, reach for these foods more often. Fish. The 2020 to 2025 dietary guidelines for Americans recommend eating 8 to 10 ounces of fish weekly. In particular, it's important to prioritize oily, cold water fish like salmon and tuna are good sources of omega-3 fatty acids which are linked with a lower risk of heart disease and stroke. Nuts. Nuts are rich in heart-healthy unsaturated fats as well as plenty of other beneficial nutrients like protein, fiber and antioxidants. Avocado. This fruit is another great source of unsaturated fats, and including avocados in your diet can help tackle many factors that impact heart health like high blood pressure or elevated cholesterol. Vegetable oils. As we mentioned earlier, vegetable oils, including seed oils like avocado, canola, grapeseed, olive, sesame, soybean and sunflower are chock full of unsaturated fats. Cooking with one of these instead of butter can be a simple swap for lowering your saturated fat intake. It's all about being selective about how much of the different types of fat you are incorporating into an overall healthy eating pattern for heart health. Instead, focus on a balanced diet with lots of fruits, vegetables, complex carbohydrates and lean sources of protein. When it comes to eating for heart health, it's not always as simple as some foods are bad while others are good. That's why taking a one-size-fits-all approach to a heart-healthy diet doesn't usually work well. Thank you, eat healthy, live happily and see you again.